All right, this is April, also known as Grandmama. I want to tell you today why I'm not voting. All right, so I guess people think that things are going to change, although all the lawmakers are still the same color. Okay, so I'm going to talk about some things that happened in the 1950s. Okay, so today we got about 120, excuse me, we got about 100 we got 12 million acres of farmland lost since the 1950s by black farmers. All right, so also when the natives, when they came here, the Native Americans were ran off of their land, and of course we had to till it and all of that sort of stuff. Did you know that the Swiss banks own most of the Delta states? So, all right, let's fast forward to 2020. All right, you might be saying you might get better health care, you might have better job opportunities, better housing. Okay, so here's the real deal. The people that own the tax assessors. The tax assessors are mainly not us. So they made the laws, and even if they have to go back in a law and find a law in their books which never got removed in the 1950s, they will use that. Okay? So I'm not voting. And the reason I'm not voting is because they're the ones that control the property taxes. They're the ones that control pretty much everything. So I don't want to have to depend on the people that make the laws and that are not going to change them to our advantage. Did we ever get the 40 acres and the mule? No, we didn't. So, have you ever heard of gerrymandering? That's when they change the rules. It's called how to win an election, how to steal an election. They use gerrymandering. Okay, now we got a lot of, it's at least one community in Florida. Their land is so much higher than the local wealthy people. So what do? Let me guess. They raise the property taxes. Okay? So now they're pushing the people off of their land that they've had for maybe over 100 years because they need the land and they want to get it dirt cheap because these people are not going to be able to afford the property taxes. So that's another reason I'm not voting, because they control the laws. They control the laws, okay? Now, on the other hand, I'm going to participate in buy the block back or buy a small town where we control our own stuff. That, and then I wouldn't be voting. Well, maybe to get a mayor and all that, but it would at least be us. We would be making our own laws. And as far as the remnant goes, I dare somebody, the government, to try to bomb us like they did the other millionaires. I think it was in Tulsa. The remnant is a force to be reckoned with. You don't want to mess with us. All these people that make the laws, it won't be nice. When the remnant arises, we're unstoppable. We can build a house and live there. We can be the banker without being shut down by death or by changing of laws. So why did I not vote? They got too much control. At this point, all they do is change the laws to please themselves, Democrat, Republican, or whoever, independent. It really doesn't matter. They're all on the same team. Now, how long have we been asking for a change? And how much change have we seen? Okay, yeah, we did get a chance to vote. But even today, they're using voter suppression. Every little trick in the book they're going to use, I'm telling you. It doesn't make any sense to vote because they control everything. When we get our own stuff over here, like the remnant is going to be doing, they won't be able to stop us. Then and only then we will have our own fair elections. Other than that, I'm not going to be asking them for nothing. As a matter of fact, I told you all on another video, I'm depending less and less on the government. Okay? I really admire back in the maybe 60s and 70s. Don't quote me. The philosophy of the Black Panthers. I really admire them. I don't know if they're still around. I don't know, but I know that they did eventually get shut down. But I am not voting because the land was taken and given to poor whites that even got land grants on land that they didn't even own. What else? All right. Okay. So, I've been telling you also that the Germans own the banks. So, do you really think, even if they pass a anti-discrimination law, wide scale on discrimination for housing, which is one already, but they're still doing it. Don't be fooled, people. As long as they own everything, even if they have to make up a new law, like they do all the time. All right? I'm not voting. But what I am going to be doing is still being a follower of Yahweh, just like the remnant is doing. And we're going to build our own. We're going to have our own money. Oh, by the way, okay, now about this reparation thing. Look up the root word. It means to repair. So they're going to keep doing little things and then doing other little things, but they're not going to really fix the whole situation. It's kind of like you taking your car to a repair shop and they fix one thing and then they secretly break something else down. So you're going to always have to go to master. Basically, that's what reparations are. I don't want any reparations. My desire is that they leave and go back to the caves. I'm sure the Native Americans feel that way too. Give us the land back. Well, I'm not asking for nothing. Not really. I'm not begging. I'm going to put it in the hand of Yahweh. But if I could submit a request, it would be move, leave this country, go back to your cave or wherever you came from. Okay? All right, this is Grandmama. I'm sure this is controversial, but think about it. They still own everything. Nothing's gonna drastically change. Okay, they still own everything at this point. So I'm not going to them for nothing if I can help it. So it's a group of us rising up, ready to share our wealth, our resources, and you know we already got the skills. We're going to be creating our own towns. These towns that's up for sale, and where we're going to put in the contract, they can't come back and say, oh, by the way, blah, blah, blah. No. These towns that's up for sale, they're going to be getting bought up by us. And we're going to be our own property taxers. If we will even have such a thing. So that's why I didn't vote. Doesn't make any sense to me, because they still own everything. You know, a few years ago, that they've been stealing elections for a while. They still had stuff on the old law book, and they pulled out. Even today, they said that they're still stealing elections. They're throwing out a lot of black people's votes. They're just doing all sorts of things. So you have the nerve to ask me why I didn't vote. All right. Shalom.